Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good morning to you as well, and welcome to today. Today is Tuesday, the 4th of November, 2025. I'm Pearson Boyd. The time is ticking by so quickly, isn't it? Already we're down to the 4th of November. That's the 11th month of the year, and the time is really going so quickly that we have to really grab every moment today to make the best of it as it happens indeed. So that's a challenge to you. To those of you watching us on our streams on YouTube and our website, unfortunately we cannot stream to our Facebook page at the moment, but we want to welcome you on our YouTube and website streams. Thank you so much for being there. Share the show, share the love, tell others about us, and let them come by to be with us Monday to Friday from 6 in the morning. So thank you. Also, if you know of something or someone whose story we have to tell, you have to tell us about it. And you can do so by sending us an email. That email address is also on your screen. That is morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. To all of you who do so, we say thank you. For those of you contemplating doing so, we say get cracking. Tell us what's happening in our community. We'd love to share the good news about what's happening in our community with everyone else as well. So big thanks to all today. Now today we'll have our conversations on CARICOM, and in that conversation we're looking at a number of regional matters that are creating talk, not just on the air but in your spaces as well. We want to take a more detailed look when Ambassador David Commichon talks to us in just a moment. In 2024, a young Barbadian man piloted a flight from Philadelphia to Barbados. Who is he? And why was he selected? And how is the organization for which he works supports those initiatives? And what's the work of the Barbados Consulate in Miami? We'll talk to them a little bit about that in just a little bit as well. The challenge, the changing face of Barbados yesterday, today and tomorrow. That's the theme of an upcoming activity. And the group behind that activity will talk to us more about that event and why you should be a part. The Child Care Board is also embarked on a number of initiatives this month in November. They'll tell us about what those plans are and where we can go to engage with those plans as well. We'll take a look at the work of the COB Lift Foundation, which you know is a charitable organization. They're doing phenomenal work in our community. We'll take a delve into what they're doing and what else they have on plan. And we'll also meet the parish ambassadors for the parish of St. John and their attendant this morning. But let's get started in our conversations on CARICOM as we welcome Barbados Ambassador to CARICOM, His Excellency David Commichon. Ambassador, good morning to you.
Morning, Pearson.
There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot happening in our side of the region as well. What concerns you most?
Honestly, what concerns me most is the militarization of our region, the buildup of U.S. Military assets in the region, and the demands that the United States is putting on governments across CARICOM to locate their military assets in our territory, because it suggests a full-scale reversion to the Monroe Doctrine, which is that doctrine that the U.S. promulgated in 1823, basically saying that this region is their backyard, and basically that they are at liberty to do as they will, not really recognizing the sovereignty of our country. So that is a very, very troubling development. Of course, we also have the hurricane. You know, so one crisis in the Southern Caribbean, and simultaneously another crisis of a different nature in the Northern Caribbean. So, it's pressure.
Yeah, and we're somehow Barbados caught in the middle somehow.
Yes.
But Barbados has a position on all of these things. As a matter of fact, last weekend in the Barbados Labour Party's conference, Prime Minister Motley took time to speak to those issues that you just mentioned. And I want to share a little bit of that, and then we can talk about it right after. Let's take a look at Prime Minister Mia Motley in her presentation at the last General Conference.
We will continue to champion democracy, human rights, and the rule of law internationally, Kerry, because we have seen how fragile countries can be and how easy it is to dissipate. Our voices in international fora will always stand on principle, whether it is speaking up for the sovereignty of small nations or calling for countries like Cuba to be protected and to be brought back into the international community by removing embargoes or calling out global inequities. If ever we needed a reminder of how unstable and how dangerous this world that we live in is, and how vulnerable our Caribbean region is, it is now with us facing a multiplicity of threats. We don't need to look any further than the menacing vessels, military vessels from the United States across the Caribbean Sea, including what is reputed to be the world's largest warship. These are not times of pirates anymore. This is 2025, and we have cause to be duly concerned, because even as that is happening, one of the most dangerous hurricanes for the 2025 Atlantic season is bearing down on our brothers and sisters in the Northern Caribbean. Melissa. We are facing, my friends, an extremely dangerous and untenable situation in Southern Caribbean. And as a people with a tragic history of being subjected to centuries of big power, orchestrated genocide, terrorism, and warfare, and as a small state, we have invested tremendous time and energy and effort in establishing and maintaining our region as a zone of peace. Peace is critical to all that we do in this region. And now that peace is being threatened, we have to speak up. I want to thank the former prime ministers of the community, the very strong statement issued by them for the fundamental principle that was agreed upon on the formation of the Caribbean community by the Honorable Dr. Eric Williams. I want to thank them because without their statement, we are possibly going to have others think that those who now lead governments are speaking in vain without reflecting on the fact that this has been a core principle of the Caribbean community from its very inception. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Prime Ministers.
It is Barbados Prime Minister Mia Motley addressing the General Conference last weekend about this space we occupy known as the zone of peace. And she's thanking predecessors, Prime Ministers Eric Williams and more. Let's talk a little bit more about what those Prime Ministers said and how we have not yet deviated from those positions.
Yes, that was a very, very important statement by Prime Minister Motley, because what she did very effectively there was rally our entire community to fight for something that is so valuable and critical for us, the concept of us being a zone of peace. And she's making the point that it goes right back to us, the very start of our coming together as a community, CARICOM, in 1972. And you know, why did we need the zone of peace from back then? Well, for two reasons. Number one, since that Monroe Doctrine of 1823, this entire region has had to reckon with the big power of the United States, which is the big superpower of this region, the regional hegemon, and it's the threat that it poses to the sovereignty of small nations that live in live in the same neighborhood. Then secondly, there was the intrusion of the Cold War. That contest between the United States, the Soviet Union, forces of capitalism, forces of socialism, and the fact that that contestation was brought into our region. So in 1972, when we were newly independent nations, and we said, our leaders, Prime Minister Barrow, Michael Manley, Prime Minister Forbes Burnham, Dr. Eric Williams, in 1972, when we were coming together to form CARICOM, we said, look, one of the first things we are going to do, we are going to declare our independence and sovereignty by recognizing Cuba. That was a declaration of our, in a sense, of our zone of peace, because we were saying to the United States, no, we are not, you can't impose your policy on us. We are independent, sovereign nations. We insist that our sovereignty be respected, and this is our sovereign, independent decision, despite what you say. And that should be seen within the context of something that happened a decade before that, when even earlier, if we go back to the Federation, the West Indies Federation of 1958 to 1962, one of the big issues that we grappled with then was our leaders of the Federation, the Federation, the headquarters of the Federation was in Trinidad. And then they had to determine where should we locate the capital in Trinidad. And our leaders chose Chaguaramas. But Chaguaramas had been gifted by the British colonial power to the United States to set up a military base in 1941 during the Second World War. So then we had a big tussle with the US, because we said, look, we don't want any military base. We want you to give us back the base so that we could establish our federal capital at Chaguaramas. And so that was a big issue back then. And what emerged from that tussle back then with the US was this notion that we do not want military bases or assets or installations in our territory. And all of that then came together in the late 1970s in the idea that our region must be a zone of peace and must be respected as a zone of peace. And, this is actually an international law concept, because we were acting upon a resolution passed by the United Nations in 1978. The United Nations had a special session in 1978 where they were discussing disarmament. They were discussing all this militarization and the need for these big powers to disarm. And they passed this resolution which said, it called for and authorized, and I'm going to quote now, the establishment of zones of peace in various regions of the world under appropriate conditions to be clearly defined and determined freely by the states concerned in the zone, taking into account the characteristics of the zone and the principles of the Charter of the United Nations, and in conformity with international law. So the UN said, look, every region, you have the right and the power to declare yourself a zone of peace and to determine what will be the characteristics of that zone of peace. And to our credit, the Caribbean, we acted upon this immediately. By the next year, 1979, Grenada co-sponsored a resolution at the Organization of American States declaring our region a zone of peace. And the resolution passed, and the operative part of the resolution, part of it said, to express its deep concern over the heightening of tension in the Caribbean sub-region resulting from the recent increases in military activity in the Caribbean area, to repudiate the concept of the region or any of its sub-regions as a sphere or influence for any power. In other words, we are nobody's backyard. To stress its support for the principles of ideological pluralism and peaceful coexistence, which are essential to the peace, stability, and development of the region. So that's 1979. And then following upon that, we continued to build out this concept of the zone of peace. In fact, even our statesmen began to add more content to it. For example, our Prime Minister Errol Barrow in 1986, and I'm going to quote him very quickly. He was speaking to the CARICOM heads of government, and this is what he said in July 1986. My position remains clear that the Caribbean must be recognized and respected as a zone of peace. I have said, and I repeat, that while I am Prime Minister of Barbados, our territory will not be used to intimidate any of our neighbors, be that neighbor Cuba or the United States of America. And I do not believe that size is necessarily the only criterion for determining these matters. In other words, it doesn't matter how small you are. It is important to let people know where you stand in what is a moral commitment to peace in our region. And then I would say the whole thing, the whole concept then was really fully consolidated in January of 2014 when the CARICOM countries, as part of the wider Community of Latin America and Caribbean States, CELAC, at the CELAC conference in Cuba, all of them, so this is the entire hemisphere with the exception of the US and Canada, they passed the proclamation, the Declaration of Havana, constituting the entire Latin American and Caribbean region a zone of peace. And incidentally, the person who headed the delegation, the Trinidad and Tobago delegation to that conference, that crafted that proclamation of the region being a zone of peace was the current Prime Minister, Kamala Prasad Bissessar. So this concept that we are a zone of peace is very well established. It's nothing to do with crime, domestic crime. It is all about contestation between nations, making the point that this region is nobody's backyard, it's nobody's sphere of influence. It is not to be the theater for warfare, for militarism. It is to be a region in which national sovereignty is respected and in which we have a modus operandi of always settling disputes peacefully, not by militarism and war.
I'm so glad you put all of that into the context that you have, you know, with the history leading till now, because as we would have played for you as well, folks, Prime Minister Motley's declaration on behalf of Barbados that we want to maintain this zone of peace as well. But there's a lot happening elsewhere in the Caribbean, and we'll get a look at that when we come right back after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're continuing our conversations on CARICOM, and there's a lot happening on CARICOM, a lot that threatens our peace and sovereignty and security as well. We just heard about the building up of military assets by the United States in parts of the region and the pressure they're putting on, even on Grenada, to also be a part of that particular militarization. But then we're also threatened by so much else. Climate is one of them, and we would have had just massive Melissa impacting severely some of our members to the north of us. And so, Ambassador, the relief effort continues. We do know that Barbados has mobilized in a significant way with its partners, relief to Jamaica in particular, but then, and Cuba, and Haiti. So let's talk a little bit about the ongoing need and what we can still do.
Well, Pearson, the link between the two issues is that the really critical issues that we should really be focused on in a laser-like manner is the climate crisis, the humanitarian crisis that has been generated by such a powerful hurricane like Melissa, rather than having to have our attention diverted with this crisis of militarism that we could do without, that is not necessary, and we could really do without, so that we could focus on the plight of our people coming out of Hurricane Melissa. So you're quite right. Severe damage was done to Jamaica, Cuba, Haiti, much lesser damage to the Dominican Republic, Turks and Caicos, and the Bahamas. But yes, I think the three that we really need to focus on are Jamaica, Cuba, and Haiti. Now, fortunately, Jamaica and Haiti, as CARICOM states, are members of CDEMA, our Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency. And therefore, they have been able to benefit from CDEMA's program. And one of the great things that CDEMA has done, and we did it just in the nick of time, CDEMA established this emergency hub here in Barbados, close to the Grantley Adams Airport, this massive warehouse, where over the last 12 months, we have stocked it with all kinds of humanitarian relief supplies. So as soon as Melissa hit, we were able to ship off critical items that we already had in stock, and send to, especially to Jamaica. But I believe Haiti would by now have benefited from some of that as well. Cuba, however, not being a CARICOM country, is outside of the CDEMA system, so they have not benefited from this. So the Barbados government, in addition to what CDEMA is doing, what CARICOM is doing, the Barbados government has its own initiative, and the GIS has put out information about how Barbadians can make financial donations to all three countries, Jamaica, Haiti, and Cuba. And I shared that information, so I think maybe at some point it will come up on the screen. But yes, Barbadians, you can go to your bank. A special account has been set up at the central bank, but your bank, once you give them the information...
we're putting details on your screen. Take a look, everyone.
Yes, and you could determine which country you want your donation to go to. So you just indicate to your bank which of the three countries you would like your donation to go to. But in addition to financial donations, since Cuba will not benefit from the CDEMA warehouse and the goods that have been collected at the CDEMA warehouse, we are going to do a special effort for Cuba. And so from tomorrow, there's going to be a collection point at the Israel Lovell Foundation in My Lord's Hill, St. Michael, for physical supplies for Cuba. And the Cuban government has said that the priority is on food items, dry goods, and especially powdered milk. Powdered milk is what they need most of all, so I guess baby formula, but other forms of powdered milk that could be used by adults as well. They're also asking for grains, wheat flour, rice, for example, and also tin goods. But they did emphasize that the biggest priority really is powdered milk. So we encourage Barbadians who would like to assist Cuba, and Cuba did not have any big loss of life because Cuba is a very well organized society, and they have worked out, like down to a T, how to protect their people from hurricanes. So they have evacuation programs and so forth. So some reports say there were no casualties in Cuba. Some say there were 2. Mm-hmm. But there's been no real loss of life or substantial loss of life. However, lots of property damage, much flooding, lots of property damage. So, and so they moved hundreds of thousands of people. They evacuated, and we know that's why they need the food supplies now to assist with those, that large number of evacuees. So all 3 are in need, and we would encourage Barbadians to be as generous as possible in giving to all 3 countries.
And so for tomorrow's, that's the drive that starts tomorrow, really. Mm-hmm. Remember, you're depositing at the Israel Level Foundation.
Oh yes, and I should say the hours are from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Any day of the week except Sunday.
Right.
So, and well, we're not sure how long that drive will go on for, but as of now, 10 a.m., 4 p.m., Israel Level Foundation, all days of the week except Sunday.
And so, Barbadians, we can do this together. After all, we are all brothers and sisters in this space in the region. If you want to make a cash monetary donation, we can again share the information on the screen about where you and how you can do so. Note the account numbers as well. Of course, you can go through the central bank if you have any further questions about this and you need clarity on how to do this. You can make contact with the Central Bank of Barbados, but note the account numbers, and as you do so, make your monetary donations, because money also will help to assist the recovery effort in Cuba, Jamaica, and Haiti as well. Ambassador, we have to leave it there.
Yes, and I mean, if folks have not been able to pick up that financial information, feel free to contact me at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I can get it to folks.
Thank you. It's right there on your screen again, folks. Take a look one more time and note it. Look back at the show when you possibly can. And you can contact Ambassador David Kamishong at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Note that information. And I know Barbadians, we know how to help. So we want you to help as well. Remember, you can make donations specifically for the relief in Cuba at the Israel Level Foundation, 10 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon, each day except Sundays, starting tomorrow. They're looking specifically for powdered milk, as well as the other things that you know for life and sustenance in the. And I encourage you, and I thank you already for being generous in your donations as well. Ambassador, thank you so much.
Thank you, Pearson.
You're
much
welcome.
Appreciated.
That's been today's Conversations on CARICOM. We're back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Imagine in 2024 you got the call up to fly into your homeland. Imagine in 2014 you had a dream, and as Martin Luther King said, you had to realize that dream indeed. And we're talking now to a young Barbadian who took the reins literally of his plane and he flew it to Barbados for the very first time in from Philadelphia. His name, and he's sitting right next to me, is Captain Dylan Jackson. He's a pilot with American Airlines. Next to him, of course, we know this face quite well, Consul General Rudy Grant, Consul General to Miami of Barbados. Thank you so much for coming, sir.
Thanks
Good
for
to see you
having me.
again. You're welcome. And Crystal Kocius, I love the pronunciation of the last name, but if you see how it's spelled, it will knock you out the skies, literally. But she is the Global Lead Caribbean Employee Business Resource Group, which is a part of American Airlines.
Yes, it is.
Welcome indeed. Starting with you, Captain. Talk to me a little bit about your trajectory, because 2014 you left here to go pursue your studies in aviation, and now lo and behold you flew that plane in 10 years later. Where were you when you got the call to be the pilot?
Where was I? I was at home in Miami. I just finished a sequence, a trip we call it, and we were hearing that there was going to be an inaugural flight from Philadelphia to Barbados. So I got on the called Akil. I was like, Akil, I think we have an opportunity here. Because Akil's from Barbados also. We knew each other before I left home in 2014. So
you set it up?
I did set it up. Yeah, I called Akil, just say, I heard there's talks of an inaugural flight. Let's go look at the pairings, because every month they'll drop the new pairings or sequences in thousands of pairings. As you know, we're the world's largest airline. So I just put the search function, put BGA, saw Philly to BGA, called Aki and I was like, we need to get on
let's
this.
get in there.
Exactly, let's get in there.
And so you had to wait on a return call to say you were selected to pilot?
So I actually wasn't selected. What happens is I was a brand new line holder. I just turned captain, that was like 6 months ago, so I was pretty junior. I wasn't able to hold a line, but that month I was able to get a line. So I actually knew the Antiguan captain before he had it. So I called him, I was like, oh, Brian, I need that trip. There's a reason I need it, because we're trying to do the inaugural flight. So Brian said, all right, he'll see what he could do. And our schedules just worked out. I was able to move some stuff around on my schedule to get that trip. So when I got that trip, I called my chief pilot. He was able to help out Akio with his schedule. And with Crystal's help, they were able to modify the schedule because it was supposed to go, I think, to Detroit, then Detroit to Philly. But you know, there always is a chance of weather in the Northeast around that time. So they kind of modified or broke the sequence just to send us to Philly to guarantee that we'll be able to make the trip. Because cancellations happen in the industry, you know. So we got a lot of help from the chief pilots. I think that went all the way up to our VP of flight. Crystal could tell you a little more. That went pretty high up the chain to make sure that flight happened.
And so when I sit in the plane, and I love to sit on the left, and I see the coastline of Barbados, there's something special that happens to me. You sit up front at the cockpit, and you're watching the descent. You saw Barbados. What did that mean to you?
That kind of brought back, so I grew up on the West Coast, and I used to watch the Concorde, as you know, when it came from London, the Delta-shaped wing. As it made that left turn on its final approach into Barbados, you could kind of see it was like a triangle. It was pretty cool to watch and see. So when I see the coastline and I envision myself making that left turn, it kind of brings back some sort of memory to me when the Concorde used to make its final landing.
So you felt like you were flying the Concorde?
Exactly. You know, it just kind of brought back memories. Like 20 years ago, I was watching this happen.
And now here you are doing
at
it.
home. Now here I am actually at the controls.
Did it scare you?
Of an aircraft with 100. No, not really. It doesn't scare me. It doesn't scare me at all. I've been flying for a long time, like 22 years. 2021, yeah. I've been flying.
And you can see the baby face. He's been flying for 20-something years.
I've been flying for like 7 years old, so I used to sit on like a tall piece of sponge to see over the instrument panel back in the day. So that doesn't scare me at all. I feel at home when I'm flying. I'm not really scared at all.
All right, I feel at home when I'm sitting here, so, well, fair enough.
Exactly. You feel at home, I feel nervous.
I get you, sir. I get you. But Crystal, you had to make some moves to make sure that his need was met. What had to happen?
So I actually received a call from Dylan. He shared his vision with me, and being the global lead of the Caribbean Employee Business Resource Group, that's just something that we do. So immediately, it was an opportunity for the EBRG to lead this initiative. So I reached out to our Philly leadership team, shared my vision, which then shared Dylan's vision for the cockpit. In addition to that, we reached out to our legal team because the goal initially was to get our flight attendants to make it a full Barbadian crew. We tried to basically get the flight attendants vetted and so forth and so forth. And so we moved forward with getting Dylan's pairing and Akil's pairing aligned to layover in Philadelphia to protect the flight, which is something that we do. In addition to that, we have an amazing senior VP that is basically pioneering our Caribbean EBRG group, which is Ralph Lopez Mesas. He's the senior VP of Charlotte operations. And so if there was an ask and need, a roadblock, he was that bulldozer coming through in a sense to say he really moved heaven and earth to make sure everything was aligned. We just really had an outpour of support from our corporate communications team to say, I love this vision. We trust you with your vision. Endless thanks to the BTMI team because that really started an amazing partnership with the Caribbean EBRG from this trip. And so just to see it all come to fruition in the end was amazing. So
talk to me a little bit about the work of the Employee Business Resource Group. What is it that you're formed to do?
So it's a part of 20 affinity groups that the company has. So whether you're Muslim, Indian, Caribbean, all employees have a sense of belonging. If you are a part of all things green, and we have a living green EBRG, and so just giving you a few examples of just how the company accommodates its employees to make sure everyone feels welcome. And so that's how the EBRG started. So some of the work that we are doing is going into various islands. We call it an Adopt an Island mission trip. And so we realigned it within the last 2 years to start following up with some of the islands that we revisit to really build partnerships, but not only partnerships, to educate us on the business of tourism, expand that vision, work more with our tourism boards to say, share your vision with us, right? How can we bring you to the seat of our table, but also bring us to the seat of your table? Because as we're sharing information, you know, we're both learning and we're growing. And I want to say, once again, our first partnership was with BTMI. And so this partnership has grown not only with our company, but also with the resource group to say, now we're sitting here. This mission trip is special because it's our 50th year of service. So we're acknowledging that partnership from a company's perspective. But now as an EBRG, we are launching an amazing STEM program, which is the first we're doing on any of our mission trips. So this trip is very special. And our goal is to take this emerging program and to share it on every trip that we attend or host, but also to look back at the next generation to bring them along, to say, hey, if you're a lawyer and you want to be in aviation, just know like there's a space for you. If you are interested in being a nurse, guess what? We do have a space for you. If you're interested in being a pilot, flight attendant, an analyst, IT, we have a space for you. And so we're just looking back at the next 2 to 3 generations and bringing them along with us.
Consul General Grant, Crystal said they come to the table. They come to the table at the Consulate General in Miami as well. And so talk to me a little bit from where you sit as a Consul General, working with groups like this to be able to facilitate not just the needs of the airline, but the needs of Barbadians.
Our partnership with American Airlines is very important. Of course, we have a number of persons within the diaspora, the jurisdiction of the Miami Consulate, and air transportation is critical. You heard Crystal say that it's a celebration of 50 years, American Airlines flying out of Miami. So that is very critical. In the consulate, we ensure that partnering with our diaspora, we are able to do a number of various activities, charitable engagements, and you would have heard Crystal speak to her group as well, that they're also facilitating some charitable donations as well. What we also seek to do is to ensure that we are able to progress commercial diplomacy. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, through the various missions and in our consulate, we seek to ensure that we are able to engage in trade missions, identify investment opportunities. Just a few months ago, we were able, for example, to facilitate US $300,000 in medical equipment and supplies for the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. We seek to work with our Barbadians who have various competencies. Dylan is a captain. He is into that airline operations, but we have many engineers, we have doctors, we have many professionals, and we leverage their competencies, their knowledge, their expertise in order to be able to partner with Barbadians and to better position us to be strong global citizens.
But you need to know they exist.
Yes, that is very true. Very, very
is that
true.
at times a bit of a challenge in terms of saying, hey, come register with us so we know how we can leverage with you?
Yes, it can be challenging at times, and we seek to reach out and leverage our partnerships with various Barbadians and various organizations. But sometimes persons are very cautious.
I understand, for all sorts of reasons.
That's
so
correct.
Talk to me a little bit about the benefits to be derived now from the association with the Employees Business Resource Group.
So this group is facilitating, like I said, some charitable activities, and also today there's an expo that is taking place. I'm sure Crystal will speak a bit more about that, an aviation expo that provides opportunities for students here in Barbados to be exposed to what American Airlines has to offer in the aviation field. It is important that we have these kinds of partnerships, that we are able from a very early age to expose Barbadians, young Barbadians, to the various careers that exists, so that from early they're able to use the opportunities that are available to them and to facilitate and leverage the training that exists in order to pursue professions in areas such as aviation.
Crystal, what's this expo that we're hearing about? I know you mentioned STEM before, but is that what you're talking about here? Mm-hmm.
So
when is it?
So it's today. It starts at 9, so it's from 9 to 5 p.m. And basically our goal is to share all the various aspects of aviation, but also, so we have customer-facing positions, so like your ticket agents, your gate agents, transitioning into in-flight. So we have flight attendants that will teach them the safety of the aircraft and, you know, why it's important. Then we'll transition into our flight simulators, which they'll meet various captains, FOs, I should say pilots, but and then most importantly, there's a whole world behind getting one flight out on time. So your crew scheduling team, your crew coordination, dispatch. I mean, it's just ATC. I was so happy to receive a text message yesterday that the local Barbadian team will send a representative, so we'll be able to cover that aspect of aviation as well. And so the goal is to take them on a journey through one flight, so they'll receive a boarding pass and go through the different changes, you know, because there are so many students that's never really been on an aircraft. But most importantly, we're merging the core side of the knowledge base to the technical advances that's happening right now in aviation. So there's a lot of automation. So systems that were more manual are now transforming into an, you know, automated space. And so they'll be able to see just how we run the largest airline and the various systems that we use. So we're sharing our role with them, we're sharing who we are with them, and we're able to receive just who they are. Yesterday, I have to say this, we were able to touch the young minds of Holy Innocents, and we were blown away. And so I was running around, you know, touching base with each space, each workshop, but the dispatching group, initially, I thought they were a little too young. However, it blew my mind when a 4-year-old asked their dispatcher, "What does it mean when you say weather en route?" And so a lot of people may not understand that terminology, but I'm going to let Dylan share a little bit about what weather en route is.
And so, share a little bit more about that, Dylan. Are you a part of this, by the way?
I am a part of the expo myself, along with, we have 2 other captains and 1 first officer. Big part of the Volunteer and Live and Give Foundation. He's here, so we got a couple people from a couple local pilots to come by also. So that'll really help with, I think, the amount of volume that we're supposed are projected to have today. As Crystal said, the operation is kind of huge. I mean, I'm just at the forefront. People see aviation and just see pilots, never just a pilot. Behind me, there's a whole team. We have dispatchers we report to, so whenever we're flying, dispatchers actually are keeping track of the entire aircraft. They have just as much authority to declare an emergency as we kind of share responsibility 50-50. So if I couldn't make a decision, they have authority to make a decision for me. So they kind of watch over the whole flight, plan our weather. Dispatchers, they pretty much do everything for us. So there's a lot of people in aviation that don't get the acknowledgement that they should have, but they do most of the work.
It's a massive ecosystem. Massive.
I mean, we have, as Crystal said, about 15 to 17 departments. I think I can't remember offhand, but a lot more than just the pilot position. So as much as I'm here, I like to acknowledge everyone else, because I mean, we're just the finishing.
Well, we acknowledge you. We don't mind you being the finisher, but you know, you do it well, and we really commend you on your career. And you're an example, I think, for a lot of children today. And so to be a part of this expo, I think, is important, that they see you, they see the youth in you, so they see the possibility through you as well. And I commend you on the great work that you're doing.
I appreciate it.
To be a part of. You're very welcome. And of course, Consul General Grant, you know, really want to thank you too from where you sit in the Consulate General there in Miami, facilitating this and other opportunities for Barbadians to not just give back, but to really reach their fullest potential. And I want to encourage all of you watching in the Miami area, reach out to the Consul General and register, because there's a resource you have that we can all leverage and benefit from. And to you, Crystal, cautious. Yes, I'm still getting it right. Thank you so much for joining us and bringing the program to our children to expose them to what aviation is, particularly from American Airlines perspective, the world's largest airline, to excite them about what the possibilities truly are. Thank you. Thank you all.
For having us. Thanks.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There's an education rally coming up put on by Family Faith Freedom. And you're asking yourself, who are they? Well, they're joining me, the people behind it. Senior pastor with First Baptist Church. Of course, you know the face. Senior pastor, Pastor Paul Leacock. Next to him is Pastor Carl Barker from the Shalem Evangelical. And across from me is Ryan Matherin, who's the chairman of the Faith Freedom Barbados, Family Faith Freedom. I just let the
You got that right.
Family Faith Freedom. Starting with you, Ryan. Why that title, Family Faith Freedom?
Well, family being the first word in the acronym, it refers to the fact that we're focused on keeping families strong and grounded in God. And we recognize over the last several years in Barbados, there has been a deterioration in families. Yeah? Now, faith represents our commitment to God. We are constituted from several churches across Barbados, and they're based upon that faith and devotion to God. Now, freedom represents our freedom of expression in faith, recognizing that we have pressures from various parts of the world to put it in polite terms, to deteriorate our faith. So that faith and that freedom come together. And then Barbados obviously is our nation. So all these come together in the nation that we're presently in. Yeah? That's it.
The nation is challenged right now, Pastor Paul, you know, and so family is at the center of this challenge. If you don't get the family right, then the fabric really disintegrates.
Absolutely. Let's face it, we have come from a very challenged past, stripped from Africa. We didn't come here in family units, as most families may migrate. We came here disheveled. We came here in shackles. And despite the years of independence across the Caribbean, the family structure has been severely challenged. Not only by that past, that very scarred past, but of course there's a lot of social issues that has accompanied us. We can talk about domestic violence, we can talk about the absence of fathers, we can talk about as recent as human trafficking of our women, sexual molestation. We can talk about all of the dynamics that affect family. Right now, Barbados has a preponderance of single female heads of households, and therefore that any sociologist or anyone who does a study on the significant problems in Barbados will trace it back to the challenges that we have in our families, which is under severe threat. So therefore, this organization represents and tries to do anything that will keep that cohesion and so that the biblical family as conceived in Scripture would remain intact, because without it, we are going to continue to see the myriad of difficulties that are registering right now.
And so, Pastor Barker, the family is adrift. Not all, but they are adrift because they're challenged by the matters that were just raised by Pastor Paul. Talk to me about what you see the church can do to make a difference.
The question has to go a little bit deeper than family. We are family, faith, freedom. I believe sometimes that faith should be first, for the reason that when the faith is not fixed, the family will deteriorate, the freedom will also disappear. And I believe that one of the things that we have done, it reminds me of the Israelites in the Bible, how they were doing very well under Samuel, and then they saw other people with kings, and they figured that they needed to get one of those too. Within a short period of time, we found that Israel and the king were cowering in the tents because there was a Goliath. I think that Barbados is now facing its Goliath. And all of these things that we are talking about are but symptoms of a deeper problem. If we go back to 1966, maybe we can ask the statisticians how many murders were there in 1966.
Versus now.
Versus now. When we look at the changes that we have made over the years, we have to ask ourselves, have the changes really been productive? We want to get into the modern world, we want to get away from that which is archaic and colonial, but have we given enough thought to what we are doing? But what we have done is to change the worldview of the country. And when you change a worldview, all the citizens will change with it. The worldview says, I know where I came from, I know where my morality lies, and I know where I'm going. And we have lost that, and that is why we can have people walking off the streets in the middle of the day and walking in here, want to take out one of us, and they don't care, and they will do it, because the worldview has changed. And I also blame our educational system for that. Because when I was growing up, the fear, even before I became a Christian, the fear of God was in me, because I knew that there were certain things that were taboo. But now our children are being taught differently, because they're told that you are an accident of nature. And if there's no God, then there are no laws. So the only thing that hinders me from doing wrong is if I'm going to get caught or not. So all of the things that we are seeing now came out of that one route where we decided that we wanted to change, and everything went with it.
And so, Ryan, there's going to be an education rally.
Yes.
When is it, where is it, and what are you hoping to achieve by it?
Well, we have been blessed to have one of our members being so devoted to the cause, and that's Pastor Paul Leacock. It's going to be at his church, which is First Baptist Church along Constitution Road, this coming Saturday, 4 p.m. And to encapsulate what was said before, many Barbadians recognize the problems. Many Barbadians are concerned about where we are going. Our purpose this Saturday is to educate Barbadians and offer them opportunity to come together and recognize where solutions can be found. Because as much as we are concerned, we still have to recognize that we have the power to make change. It's not enough simply to complain about the issues. It's not simply enough to lament the issues, blame politicians, blame social media. All of these are valid concerns, but there comes a point when we have to address them. As Pastor Paul said previously, we have several issues attacking families in Barbados. Everyone is affected. Barbadians may be saying, well, look, we're developing, we have construction booms, we have disposable income. Our vehicles are up to standard, etc., but yet there's a moral decline. And if one continues along this path, you can only envision where Barbados will be next 10 or 20 years. So we're encouraging Barbadians, come out, be educated, so we can come together and make a social change that is very, very fundamental towards the future of this country.
It's this Saturday.
This coming Saturday.
Sunday.
This coming Sunday.
Sunday.
This coming Sunday. What time does it begin?
Yes.
4 p.m.
4 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's interactive. So you don't just want the adults' appearance alone. You want people.
We want everybody.
Correct.
Everybody needs to be there at every strata of society. And one of the important things is that we're getting presentations from those who deal with our youth. In Roger Husbands, we're having presentation as well from those who are able to articulate what the church's role is in society, in Dr. Kelman, who is the District Superintendent of Nazarene Church. And then a special bonus, we have attorney Philippa Davis of Jamaica, who is going to be here. And I mean, that's fortuitous, because Jamaica Cause, which is the corresponding relationship to Family Fair Freedom, has done enormous work in Jamaica itself. And how fortunate it is to have someone of her stature come in, especially against the background of the catastrophe that we've just experienced there. Yeah. So this is a wonderful opportunity for all of Barbados. And this is not just for people belonging to the church. Concerned citizens. I mean, we cannot deny that we are alarmed at the rising incidence of the wanton murders in our country. And we have to address it. Yes. It has to be dealt with. And we want everyone to come Sunday, 4 p.m. Sunday, 4 p.m. First Baptist Church, Constitution Road. You got to be there. I hope to see you there, person.
You got to be there. You got to be there. Gentlemen, it's not me all the time, but I want to thank you each. Senior pastors Paul Leacock and Carl Barker, and the chairman of Family, Faith, Freedom Barbados. Ryan Matherin. Yeah, I've got my F's lined up now. Thank you so very much for joining us. All the best with this, all right?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. We're coming back in a moment, folks.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's look at news now. The devastation of Hurricane Melissa is again forcing Caribbean leaders and development experts to confront a harsh truth. The region's infrastructure must be built to survive a changing climate. That message came as the Caribbean Development Bank opened its Sustainable Infrastructure Conference 2025. Here's a report from Deanza Roberts.
Delegates from across the region joined officials from the CDB, the UK's Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office, and France's development agency AFD to map out a sustainable path forward for the Caribbean's infrastructure sector. Addressing the conference was Ambassador Her Excellency the Most Honourable Elizabeth Thompson. She says the region needs to build with climate change in mind.
So that infrastructure has to be climate proofed, and infrastructure has to be climate conscious, climate resilient, and not only be able to withstand the increasing intensity and frequency of extreme weather events, but they have to be able to be so secure that our housing, or bridges, or ports, or road infrastructure, and clearly I'm focusing on physical infrastructure, is so well constructed and so resistant that it is able to withstand extreme weather events.
She says across the region, inconsistent building standards and limited financing continue to threaten resilience.
The U.S. Secretary of State speaking at the IMF World Bank fall meetings, maybe 3 weeks ago now, indicated that the World Bank really should shift from all of these climate-focused activities and loans into other real sensible activities. Now, the reality is that if your financing is not going to come from the major institutions from which you would expect, that really does have implications for the extent to which you are going to be able to climate-proof your physical infrastructure.
Vice President of Operations at the Caribbean Development Bank, Dr. Isaac Solomon, lamented the burden that small island development states face from rising sea levels.
Hurricane Melissa has tragically demonstrated what the data has long told us. The Caribbean is on the front line of climate change. Our small island developing states bear a disproportionate burden from rising sea levels, intensifying storms, and changing precipitation patterns. Yet, we contribute minimally to global emissions. This fundamental injustice demands that we build differently, plan smarter, and invest strategically in infrastructure that can withstand the climate realities of today and tomorrow.
As the region rebuilds from Hurricane Melissa, the call from Bridgetown is clear. Resilience must be designed, not repaired. Deanza Roberts, CBC News.
Well, the spotlight will be on the youth and vulnerable members of society as justice agencies, government departments, and schools come together for the Crime Awareness Month 2025. The initiative, led by the Criminal Justice Research and Planning Unit in collaboration with the National Peace Program, started with a prayer breakfast at the Bay Street Esplanade. Trevor Thorpe reports.
The event was in collaboration with the National Peace Program and will also mark the 30th anniversary of the Criminal Justice Research and Planning Unit. Director Cheryl Willoughby, addressing the breakfast gathering, which was made up of members of the judiciary, heads of government departments, and school officials, highlighted the mandate of the unit.
Our primary responsibility is to conduct research that measures the extent and nature of crime in Barbados, as well as to advise our policymakers or partners regarding the relevant programs and projects that they can implement to respond to the criminal risk factors that we glean from our research.
The Minister of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs has expressed strong support for the collaboration between the Criminal Justice Research and Planning Unit and the National Peace Program. This message was conveyed by Permanent Secretary Mark Franklin during his remarks at the launch of the Crime Prevention Month in Barbados. The senior government official praised the efforts of both organizations as they work towards the theme, From Fear to Citizenship Empowerment, Safer Streets, Stronger Communities.
This bold statement captures our focus and commitment towards working with youth, families, and other vulnerable populations to strengthen social control systems in our communities. When families and youth are equipped with the resources and skills necessary to become productive citizens, the outcomes will redound to the benefit of their families, the communities in which they reside, and ultimately to our beloved Barbados. I am especially pleased that many of the activities planned for Crime Awareness Month targets schools and communities with information on crime and alternatives to crime.
Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Office of the Attorney General, Curtis Gilts, said it is evident from feedback that the collaboration between the bodies is timely and essential in responding to negative behaviors in communities.
There remains a need, therefore, for a continued or perhaps increased collaboration among stakeholders to optimize resources and, in doing so, to safeguard the future of our younger and more vulnerable generations.
A beach cleanup at Browns Beach next Sunday, a youth community day, and a T20 celebrity cricket match are among the activities on the month-long agenda. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
St. Giles Primary has launched its Literacy Week with a strong message about the importance of reading both in and out of the classroom. The ceremony opened with an inspiring welcome from Class 1 student Shakaya Elliott, setting the tone for a celebration focused on words, stories, and imagination.
From reading picnics to a reading bus, come and celebrate. Reading is a must.
In her short welcome, student Shakaya Elliott set the stage for the activity, which also featured teachers taking to the stage for prayers, students singing the school song, and reciting poems. Principal Stuart Mayers told students that promoting literacy in today's digital world remains vital. He said every child has the potential to achieve great things once given the right tools.
That means reading and writing is still very, very important. But now, we also learn through technology. Whether you're reading a storybook, typing on your computer, or exploring content on your phone or tablet, literacy helps us grow and discover new worlds.
Mr. Mayers also outlined a week of engaging activities designed to make reading fun and interactive.
We are going to be having those literacy picnics where you'll be coming outside and reading under the trees, spreading out on blankets. We have fun sessions with the St. Michael's Regathering Literacy Committee. They'll be joining us as well this week. And to close out the week, we have the Sandals Foundation Reading Bus coming, and they always bring stories of excitement wherever they go.
Delivering the feature address, Minister of Educational Transformation, Chad Blackman, revealed that government will soon roll out a comprehensive literacy program targeting both students and adults.
And with every opportunity, there are always sometimes some challenges. And the question now becomes, how do we ensure that our young people and those who interface with the digital world have the tools and skills to be able to navigate that space? And it is also the reason, therefore, that the Ministry of Educational Transformation, working, of course, with other partners, not just in government, but within the private sector and the non-governmental aspects of our country, we're going to roll out a major literacy program, helping our children and our country to be able not just to read, but to master the art of reading.
Minister Blackman says the government is developing the initiative that does not stop at the classroom door, but reaches parents and guardians, noting that they too have a role to play.
Every single aspect of our society must now play its part in ensuring that we can have, first of all, a country that has a citizenry that can read. As I said, secondly, we are working towards ensuring that every child can read by the age of 7. Going forward, of course, there's some challenges, and where they exist, we will ensure that we give all the necessary tools and resources to close those gaps. and parents have a strategic role to play.
The minister also presented certificates to students who represented the school in the Barbados Postal Service's 54th International Letter Writing Competition. The message: the ability to read and write remains a powerful tool. Deanza Roberts, CBC News.
Sports now. Barbados players had a tough opening day of the J30 Bridgetown International Tennis Federation's World Tennis Tour event at the National Tennis Center. Of the 13 local players, 12 were eliminated from the boys and girls singles main draws. The lone winner was Micah Austin, who took her girls' first-round match against Shiloh Walker of Trinidad and Tobago 6-3, 6-3. Damon Best reports.
Some early action from the main draw. This is Zach King of Barbados wearing the black, taking on number 1 seed Kai McDaddy of Canada. King was looking super sharp in the opener. The smash said it all. The next point was even sweeter. The forehand exchanges extended the rally. Then King goes down the line. Superb. Slow start for the favourite McDaddy. Unforced error. King had the 4-1 lead and was showing just how much his tennis has improved. Somehow that lead was depleted. King started to make several mistakes, and it seemed to inspire McDaddy, who came roaring back. His ability to advance into the court and keep King off the baseline sets up the smash. King fighting fire with fire. He takes a beeline to the net and leaves the Canadian out to sea. Then the ace to get the home support going. But just when it looked like King would have enough to take the first set, McDaddy leveled at 5-all and then went ahead 6-5, forcing a tiebreak. It was in that tiebreak that McDaddy expounded on his status. King off balance. His movement around the court improving tenfold, and McDaddy was the one now pulling the strings. McDaddy securing the comeback with an epic performance in the tiebreak, winning that one 7-2 and the first set 7-6. He would then go on to breeze through the second set 6-love and sweep the contest. The second matchup on court 1 brought together Aidan Clark of Barbados and Luke Bassigi of Canada in yellow. Shaky start for Clark, put in hurry-up mode and goes long. Then the ace to rub salt in the wound. The problems persisted for Clark, who wasn't doing himself any favors. Unforced errors piling up, and Bassigi shining the brightest in the blazing sun. To his credit, Clark did take one game off his opponent in the first set. Prolonged rally here, the concentration level spot on, and that is a free point on offer and gobbled up. However, the Canadians' weapon of choice was the drop shot, and Clark was unable to nip it in the bud. Even when he tried to copy the shot, it was backfiring. The between the legs minus the elevation. Clark, the number 8 seed, will eventually lose in 2 straight. 1-6, 4-6. Victory to Bassigi of Canada. Damien Best, CBC Sports.
That's news for now. More news at noon. Morning Barbados is back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar site.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
20 and a half after 7 o'clock now, we are turning our attention to the ongoing work of the Child Care Board. As you do know by now, November is Child Month, and you're asking, but hold on, Piercy, you sure? Because traditionally May is recognized as Child Month in Barbados, but this year, it's moved to November to align with the international rights of the child. And so we want to talk a little bit more about what we're doing this month of November. I'm joined by Senior Child Care Officer of the Child Care Board's Day Care Program in Esther Bailey Smith. Next to her is Gail Carter, who is with the Child Care Board, but she also does early childhood education and development. And across from me is Sharon Rose Guinness, Vice President of the Barbados Association of Professional Social Workers. I know her about, so I can tease her this kind of thing. Good morning to each of you ladies.
Good morning. Good
Esther, I'll start with you. Talk to me a little bit about what, from the Child Care Board's perspective, are you hoping to achieve in this month of November?
In this month, we would like to educate our families about the role of families and children coming together. Is very important for caregivers who are the primary caregiver of children to realize the importance of having the child's best interests at heart, making sure that they're involved in the child's development socially, economically, spiritually, in every aspect, so that the child can develop in a wholesome atmosphere to be, enhanced citizens of our country, and to make sure that they are the parents being role models for their children.
And you said families because there's a reason for that, right, Gail? There's a reason why families take center stage. Your theme this year is healthy families are the foundation of healthy communities.
Yes.
Celebrating our children and families.
Yes.
Why the focus on families?
Family is important. And as the theme said, we recognize that family is the foundation. That's the first setting where children, they learn, they're nurtured. And so we want to ensure that families are stable, families are healthy, because at the end of the day, these children are going to grow up to be citizens. And so we want to ensure that we're focusing in on the family so that children, families, people understand that that environment is critical to children's development.
To a healthy development as well. Because, and oftentimes we hear the word health, we think of the physical health, whether or not you have diabetes, you have this condition or the third, but you're looking at the emotional health. And I know, Sharon, this is something that you guys do as professional social workers as well. You also pay attention to the overall makeup of that individual.
Yes, we do, and I must say that you're sitting in the midst of two social workers as well, okay? So when we talk families, that's what we do. And as you listen and as our viewers take a look at what we have planned for the week, for the month, then you recognize that, yes, for sure, it is a focus on not only the physical health, the spiritual health, the economic health, but everything surrounding that particular family.
All right, so let's break it down. So how do you intend to be able to build healthier communities by building healthier families? What are the activities?
Lovely. And we start off with the church service.
Yes, we had a church service on Sunday. And there are several activities that are geared towards building the family. So we, as you know, one of the programs within the Child Care Board is foster care. And the foster care program is going to have some self-care support for those foster parents. And I want to put a plug in here for anybody who is interested in fostering a child, that they can call the Child Care Board and express that interest. We are going to have our open days at government daycare, and we're looking at Barbados past the present. And that will start from the 10th of November and run through the month. So we encourage persons to go out and view the displays, see the children's work on hand, because again, the daycare is that substitute family when the parents are away at work. Sharon will speak more to the public forum as it pertains to the men. But on the 20th specifically, we are celebrating World Children's Day. So a lot is going on in November. And one of the things that we're encouraging families, we're encouraging schools, churches to wear blue and to get the children involved. Allow the children to encourage, to suggest the activities that they want to do, have the children be the focus of whatever is happening. Give them a voice, let them have a say in terms of what they want to do. We will also be having a men's forum for fathers in daycare, so that, again, healthy families, men play a critical role in the stability of families, and we want to focus on that. And then, of course, regathering, St. Michael is the focus for November, and we're going to be joining with the regathering committee as well to be able to be a part of their activities. So we're essentially involving everybody as a part of the celebration, because again, it's not just parents in terms of biological, but substitute parents, caregivers. Everybody plays a role in building that healthy family.
Today, the look of the family is a little bit different from what we all grew up as. Mommy, daddy, everybody else. The family now is structured in so many different ways, Sharon. So talk to me about what some of the challenges that might present, one, to a healthier community, and then this event that you're also focusing on for men.
The family as presented, and I think as Gail would have shared, added to that is the day in which we recognize those ill children within both at the psychiatric hospital as well as those on the wards. So as you mentioned, the change of families, that you're dealing with families too where children are ill, having to deal with illness, having to deal with bereavement, having to deal with the separation of a father from that household. And the event that we're planning is really one that looks at the co-parenting, primarily of the father, and encouraging that father to build on his relationship. Now, the association, BAPSWE, we would have, last year, 2024, we started under the National Peace Program to look at the program called Lyrics. So this year, we have emphasized Lyrics Plus in collaboration with Child Care Board, and we really want to say thank you for the collaboration, where we recognize that our fathers still have a gap. And I know hearing this from a female, but mothers, right, mothers have been the one who, yes, will always nurture, but there's only so much we can do. So through research, we recognize that our fathers do not have enough information in terms of their rights and responsibilities. So on the 19th, which is International Men's Day, remember that? Yes. International Men's Day, we celebrate our men, and I'm celebrating him person today, unknown to him.
Well, that's why that's there.
Yes.
Bless you.
And it says, stay sweet and dandy, okay?
Oh, thank you.
Anyway.
Oh, I get you.
Stay sweet and dandy.
But listen, though, get back on track.
Yes.
Right.
So that particular event is taking place at Solidarity House from 6 until 8. And we're having our judge, High Court Judge, Mr. Watts, present on the paternal rights. We're looking at visitation, we're looking at care and custody, we're also looking at maintenance, but you're hearing it from the judge. We're also really saying it's only... We
Men
do.
Have a lot to say.
We do. We want to hear from you. The only time that you will see women in this space will be maybe at the beginning and throughout, but we have this event planned just for you And refreshments are going to take a little twist with a sip and paint.
Okay.
So we invite, yes, the men to come out and
a little bit express
yes,
through
express
art.
and
Through
then
art.
through
Not
art.
fists, art.
Yes.
And
art,
so I think that's going to be phenomenal. We have time later on in the month that we can highlight the
Sure.
event.
Thank you.
Hint,
Hint,
and
hint.
so I really want men to show up. Men need to express, and they have thoughts, they have feelings. They express it sometimes in ways that we don't want them to. But here's an opportunity to get to know your rights, fellas, as a father. And in consequence, we hope that you can work out that relationship with the mother as well, so you can have access to your child.
And this is just a part in terms of, because we're not wanting mothers out there to feel, wait, it's just, it's International Men's Day. We're therefore focusing on the co-parent father, but it's really a series. So coming up, we want to focus on the mothers. You're not being forgotten, because it's, do not give us that look,
I had to give that look. I'll tell you why I had to give that look.
And then we want to look at the children and siblings in the home.
I'll be fair. You're right. You're right. We can segment in that way.
Yes.
But oftentimes we brush over the men's things and say, oh, dear women, we haven't forgotten you. No. Fellas, this is for you.
Yes.
This is your moment. This is the one time we talk about you and you alone, with you and you alone.
Correct.
And so we want you to know that this is especially International Men's Day, where the fathers of our society, the men of our society, have an opportunity to come hear from a judge about what it takes for you to have the things you are requesting and have a right to, and how you go about getting those rights, really get those rights so that you can have that relationship with your child. So that's a very special day and date to note, and of course we'll come back and tell you a whole lot more about that. Early childhood, daycare.
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit about the challenges there that you're seeing and how we as a community can help to build a healthier community by building up a healthier family.
First, in relation to daycare, we want parents to understand the importance of allowing the children to be enrolled in a licensed daycare where there is stimulation for the child spiritually, psychologically, intellectually, emotionally. This provides the bedrock for the child in its early development. It's an avenue where the child can be enhanced in its stimulation. There's activities for the child, so that the earlier the child is exposed to development, because the first 3 years the child is developing, it's mentally, socially, and every aspect. And you want the child to be totally exposed to the environment that they develop in a proper way. And so at that, and in a daycare, there is the exposure of play, is social activities. Play is very important, and we are expecting parents to be involved in daycare. It's not just sending their children, but to get to know what their children are doing, how their children are doing, how they're socializing, how they're behaving, how they're developing intellectually, and because they can also enhance the child's life when the child get home, especially when it comes to reading. That also is an atmosphere that the parents need to be involved in, not just the daycare, where you encourage the child to read and enjoy reading, by the parents also being involved and helping the child.
I am sold. Don't you worry. But we have a whole month. We have a whole month, and there's a series of it. So we welcome you back to continue talking more about the benefits and the value of all the things we're talking about, developing a healthier family for a healthier community indeed, and all of the components therein, from daycare to early childhood education to the work of the professional social workers, everything, all the components to building a healthier community. We really want to welcome you again. So thank you so much for joining us this morning. Esther Bailey-Smith, Gail Carter, and Sharon Rose Gittins. I said that with dignity today.
Okay.
Thank you so much for the gift.
Yep.
And I look forward to seeing each of you again soon so we can continue our conversations. All right?
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. We're coming back on Morning Barbados in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds.
Good morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
In 11 days, everyone will be at the Garfield Sobers Gymnasium for the Spirit of the Nation show. In 11 days, St. John will be ready to represent St. John in the Spirit of the Nation show. And in 11 days, who knows, maybe one of these can become the outstanding parish ambassadors or the attendant of the year. I'm happy to introduce you now to St. John and to St. John's ambassadors, to Sean Dawson, and next name is Gabriella Critchlow. and their attendant is Kimberly Rollins. To each of you, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Tashawn, you ready?
Yes, please.
How ready are you?
I'm very ready, actually. It has been a long year, so I have no choice but to be ready.
So why do you say it's a long year? What have you guys been up to?
Well, so far, we have, as a community, as a group, we have been going church to church, house to house, doing our parish project, and greeting and meeting a lot of people. And then along with that, there's also the experience that was gained, knowledge that was gained during the entire year.
But no regrets?
No regrets at all.
None whatsoever. Gabriella, what about you? What kind of year have you been having?
This year has been an experience. I enjoyed it totally this year, especially like teaching inside, going house to house, greeting the others in the neighborhood, learning a lot about St. John that I didn't know.
Really? What did you learn?
I learned about Cherry Grove Primary School. I didn't know about that.
So you did not know there was a Cherry
No, I
Grove
didn't
Primary
know
School?
there was a Cherry Grove
Do you know
Primary
where it was located exactly?
I know. When you come from Four Roads and you turn left approaching Cherry Grove, it was right there on the front roads.
All right, gotcha. Keep going. Just checking your knowledge. Go ahead.
Yeah. I knew about Hoddlesoul's Primary School because that's where my mother went to school. And
So learning your history was one of your takeaways from all of this. Something you perhaps did not have the interest in before.
No, it did
You just
not.
lived in St. John.
I just lived in St. John. And
So in terms of your decision to be the parish ambassador, was that easy for you to make, a decision to make?
making the decision to be a parish ambassador was not the easiest, but I am very happy that I did it. It was a learning experience. I enjoyed meeting everyone this year, the fellow ambassadors, meeting the people in my community, learning more about St. John.
What about you, Tashane? That decision to be the parish ambassador, how did that happen for you?
Well, it was last minute to Saints, but coming on to it, I thought of it as this is my second pageant. Why not take on the challenge?
What do you mean it's your second pageant?
I have been in the Mr. Executive competition in 2023.
okay.
Yes, please.
So you know this stuff then.
Yeah.
You know what to expect.
Yes, please.
You're not afraid. The project, you mentioned you've been working on a project. What's the project?
The project is honoring the past and inspiring the future, where we gather information and artifacts from our community within St. John. And then we will either be publishing that in a hard copy for everyone to see worldwide. And along with that, there is also there's also we had a workshop-ish, and then we were helping back St. Margaret School, if I'm correct. Yes, we're rebuilding their library.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So, unearthing this past, talk to me about that, Gabriella. What did you find? Not just the schools that you told me about earlier.
Schools. I found out about how we had pit toilets back in the day. I knew about it.
You are so young.
I knew about it
Go
based off
ahead.
of what my grandmother was telling me and things like that. But like to hear about how they had to go to school, how not everybody had.
You had to walk to school.
Had to walk
distances.
to school, and not everybody had television to watch. You would go to the next door neighbor and watch TV. I peek through the window and watch the TV. I learned about the jockeying boards.
Yes.
I had the experience with the jockeying board.
Before the washing machine?
Before the washing machine, because I used to have to wash my white shirts for lodge on the jockeying board.
See?
The butt pot to fry the chicken, to cook the foods.
There's nothing sweeter than food done in the butt pot.
It's true. It's true.
So now you see.
Yeah.
And all of this you're hoping to compile into either a book or in some other way present that history to the people of St. John and to the rest of the world as well.
Yes,
and you're
please.
thrilled with your project.
Yes, please.
It's come a long way, right? Brilliant. But your attendant has been keeping you on track and on time. Who's the one who's bad on timekeeping here? Madam Attendant, talk to me, Kimberly. Who's
Madam
the
Chairperson, to be exact.
You're the chairperson?
Yes, please.
Oh, so you're not also the attendant?
Well, I can't fill the space of the attendant when I need to.
When you need to?
Yes,
But
please.
do you have an attendant?
Yes, please. She's unable to make it today.
Oh, she was on. So talk to me, sitting in the position of chair of the Parish Independence Committee, what was your role and how challenging or easy was it?
It was a challenge, but I did the best that I could. I did, when you're supposed to be somewhere, make sure I send the information and say, well, we're supposed to be there, despite, how things are, we do the best that we can do.
St. John has always been formidable when it comes to the Spirit of the Nation show. Y'all compete fiercely. So let's talk a little bit about getting your committee and getting your parish ambassadors ready for the 15th.
Well, so far we've been to the needle worker, we've been through the stores looking for the materials, it's been a while.
Yes. And practice sessions
Sleepless
and so
nights
forth.
and practice sessions, just getting out there.
Tashin, it's your second pageant, you said to me, the second time on a national stage.
Yes, please.
So therefore you understand what it is to be standing in the spotlight.
Yes, please.
And to be able to do what is best to show the best of oneself.
Yes, please.
Are you happy with your evening wear?
With my evening wear?
Yeah.
Yes, please. I have,
Your
of course
suit?
I am. Yes, of course.
What color is it? Jeez. I was hoping to trap
No
you.
spoilers, no spoilers, no spoilers.
So who was it designed? What's it designed like? Do you know?
Still no spoilers.
Okay, you have a whisker. Yes or no?
No spoilers.
so who? Okay then. At least you can tell me who is the person working on your costume.
Not even that.
Not even that?
No, please.
For revealing.
So what can you tell me today?
To come out and join us.
To come out and join us. And to ask all of St. John as well to come out in their gold.
Yes, please.
And join you.
And there will be transportation.
Okay.
Yes.
So talk to me about the arrangements there.
There'll be a bus going through St. John. There'll be 4 spots. Kendall St. John, Edgecliff St. John, Cherry Grove St. John, and Gall Hill St. John.
So the bus will go and make stops at those 4 locations?
Yes, please. So anyone that is willing to come,
be there.
just be there. The bus starts to leave Kendall at 4 p.m.
So leave at 4.
And then we'll go through the other parts of St. John, just be
Right.
at one of those stops and just get into the bus.
Because the Spirit of the Nation show will start at 6.
Yes, please. So we're leaving at 4 to be there
They like
on
to start
time.
promptly. So it's 6 o'clock, but you guys will be there before that.
Yeah, they have to be there by 2.
I know. I feel for y'all when it comes to you got to be there early, settle, and get yourselves ready. And so you're practicing your opening routines and those kinds of things already. Grand rehearsal is coming up. You know that. Are you a dancer generally? They don't have you all dancing this year?
No.
Oh, you all are lucky. Others have had to dance as well. And I am not a dancer myself, so I don't do the dancing thing. But, but I know you're going to be doing very, very well. You're confident. I can hear it in you and see it in you already. I know you will do well. In terms of the speech, Gabriella, I know you have to give a report. You do know the criteria, right?
Yes, I do.
What's the criteria?
The criteria basically follows how you present the speech, once you entitle everything that you did throughout the year. It basically follows
And to match it with your
vocal presentation and the presentation that you're going to be showing on the screen.
PowerPoint.
Yeah.
And how long do you have to make your speech?
Our speech is 2 minutes long.
Good. Trishane, how long is the speech for?
2 minutes.
I don't want you to get up there and slow down and mess up Gabriella here, because points will be deducted. You got to get it right, buddy. You got to get it right. And so I'm excited about this as well. I'm really wishing you well. You bring a good energy, a good vibe. Keep it up, St. John. Keep it up. Well done to you and your team, Kimberly. And so to Sean Dawson.
Yes, please, Dawson.
Sorry. Gabriella Critchlow and Kimberly Rollins of St. John. These are the folks representing you in the Spirit of the Nation show on the 15th. Get your tickets early. Get on the bus as well. How can people get to know more information, Kimberly, about the...
They can contact me via St. John PIC, or you can call me at 286-3275.
286-3275. 286-3275. Call and see the bus is leaving Kendall at 4. Just how long it will take to get to your next stop. So you get there and you get on the bus. We're going to the Spirit of the Nation show on the 15th at the Garfield Sobers Gymnasium. It starts at 6. The bus for St. John will leave at 4. And you have ample time to get on and get down to the Garfield Sobers Gymnasium in time for a prompt start. But come in your gold, come in your yellow if that's the color for you, and represent St. John. These are your parish ambassadors, Tashawn and Gabriella. They can't wait to see you making beer noise in the gymnasium as well, in their support. Thank you all. I wish you all the best, all right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Morning Barbados is back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV 8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 7 to the hour of 8 o'clock now as we look at a little bit more detail at the work of COB Lift Foundation. They exist for a reason. That reason we'll be told right now by the program manager in Kathy Ann Scott. And she's brought along with her this morning because they work so well together, Rochelle Warren, who is the past Executive Vice President of JCI Barbados. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
Miss Scott, let me talk about the COB Lift Foundation because you do phenomenal work. How long has the Lift Foundation been in existence now?
Well, the Lift Foundation was founded on the 12th of June 2023. We're registered charity 1690. So we are official. We are the corporate social responsibility arm of the City of Bridgetown Cooperative Credit Union. And in our short existence, we've been doing a lot of work.
Like what?
Right now, we have our feeding program going on. We partner with Street Lamp Ministries. Every Thursday, we're in Bridgetown assisting them. We supplement what they already do. And we've been doing it. This is our second year doing it, and I can tell you that line is getting longer.
Yes, I see it. Mm-hmm.
So the value that we bring and what we add to that is really important. But our marquee program is our holistic and natural health program. We provide scholarships for individuals to study massage therapy, but not traditional massage therapy. This is therapeutic massage therapy related to sports recovery. We provide the foundation. We provide the funding for the foundation element of that program, and you can go on to up to master's level PhD, and it really is a necessary skill in the environment we live in. We talk about elite athletes and not having that skill set within Barbados, so we're providing the foundation work for that.
Someone would watch and say, okay, it's called the COB Lift Foundation, so therefore is it for members of COB alone?
No. Just last week we approved funding to assist the Deaf Heart Foundation. They provide breakfast for the Irving Wilson School. And our fundraising efforts are nationally, so we can't, across the nation, so we can't just, but we have programs that are specific for COB members. That would be the Adrian Griffith Member Assistance Fund, the COB Cares Maxine McLean Scholarship Program. And within that scholarship program, we also have a component, the COB Creative Awards, where people who may not be academically inclined, but they may be excellent at cricket or swimming, they may be an athlete, may be good at playing steel pan, they have some other creative element to them. We provide scholarships for that as well.
So how do I make myself known to COB Lift Foundation so that I can qualify for this?
You have aged out of the program. But you come into any branch of COB and you ask for an application form. And the application forms are online as well on the COB website. For the duration when the application period is open, the application forms are available online. You fill them out online. You submit your information. You don't even have to come to the branch. We're in 2025 and technology rules, right? Yes. You upload your information, you send your information, and we review your application panel.
As simple as that.
As simple as that.
All right, well that's good. You've made the convenience possible for all of us. JCI Barbados, however, what's the relationship between your organization, Rochelle, and the COB Lift Foundation?
Well, you heard all of the programs that the Lift Foundation is currently working on, but we have partnered on a program called Change for Change. And this program, we're saying, every small donation that you can make goes towards a bigger impact. When I was growing up, I would remember my mom would have a tot, and you would put change in this tot, you would put small amounts in this tot, and it would be for a rainy day. Yes. We're flipping that concept on its head. We're putting the change together. We're working with corporations, with schools, and we're gathering that change, but being active in using the funds to have that greater impact. You hear all of the projects that the Lift Foundation is working on. The funds will be going towards those projects and also towards projects that JCA Barbados works on. And one of the major projects that we do is called the Mathematics Program, where we assist those young persons preparing for common entrance to increase their math scores. We have those small group programs at various locations across Barbados. We help volunteers train to tutor these individuals, and JCA Barbados is really that leadership development organization. So that's where our partnership really comes into play, where we take our leadership development skills and we help train their volunteers, provide those program management, those community engagement training programs to assist the LIFT program.
So I could bring my change to you.
Yes, yes.
That's good. Okay. No, because I'm not a fan of coins. I don't like coins. And so therefore, okay, now we know. All right. I like that. So folks, now you know a little bit more about the COB Lift program and its give back and how JCI is working. as I just said, if you have those excess coins that are just weighing down your pocket, and you just have them there because it's so annoying counting to bring them to JCI. JCI can actually put them together and give to the COB Lift program. Can we also exchange our coins with you at the COB?
Yeah, you can bring we now have a program in our Bridgetown branch, Donate $1, because we recognize the times we're living in, and we're not asking you to do big things, but for a lot of people to do something small and really have a major impact. So we have a Donate $1 campaign in our Bridgetown branch where we ask people who come in to do transactions just to donate $1. We also have our Round Up Your loan payment promotion where you can round up, if your loan payment maybe is $50.80, we just round up the 20 cents. And that goes to the foundation, to the work that we are doing, which is some important work that we are doing, community work. We are now about to have our partnership with the Barbados Boy Scouts Association. That is in the pipeline. We know that we want men and young boys to come forward and be leaders to really get our country back on a smooth course. So we're working with the Boy Scouts Association to implement some programs, leadership training. We'll partner with JCI. Synergies. We can't do it alone.
We can't do it all now either. That's the truth. But I really want to thank you for coming and sharing the inspiring work that you do. Her name is Kathy Ann Scott. She's the program manager of the COB Lift Foundation. Rochelle Warren is a past executive vice president of JCI Barbados. And so we want you to benefit from all that COB has to offer, because COB cares, COB uplifts. That's why the Lift Foundation exists. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having us.
I join in saying thank you all for joining us this morning. My little crew does as well. So if it be the will of the Lord, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.